Shooty Gat was a second-generation Rwandan immigrant. So that's why it's funny. Oh, no, I think he's first-generation, actually, Rwandan immigrant. Anyway, not really relevant, but I just wanted to explain why I said what I just said, because he is Rwandan. Disney is still non-committal on the third Shooty Gatwa season, but apparently it's happy to have Doctor Who. So this story is kind of like two-pronged. So this dropped in July, right? Shooty Gatwa's Doctor Who future after 2025 reportedly in doubt. So take a look at this first, and then we'll look at the latest report, because it's quite comical. I also had, and I couldn't confirm this with anyone else, I also had someone reach out to me and be like, yeah, Shooty Gatwa and Rusty Davies are not seeing eye to eye at the moment. Like, there's a lot of friction behind the scenes, but I couldn't confirm that. So take that with a massive pinch of salt. Okay. I can't confirm it. I don't know. But it's just something to say in case this is true. So the Mirror said Shooty Gatwa could be on his way out of the TARDIS, as the actor has failed to pledge his future to Doctor Who. So he has failed to pledge his future to Doctor Who, which is interesting, right? So, yeah, bizarre. So he's refused to say if he will stay on. The showrunner, Rusty Davies, has added fuel to the fire by insisting the BBC and Disney have not locked him into a deal for the next season. So it does go along with what I got sent to me as well, like, kind of. The shock news emerged when Russell, Shooty, and co-star Millie Gibson promoted the series at Comic-Con San Diego, California. US outlets have stated that the plot leaves Shooty's future open-ended. Shooty told of the pressure he faced as the 15th Doctor and admitted it had taken him 2 years to get a handle on the role. Took you 2 years to play Doctor Who. Are you joking?
Wow.
Like, he's the easiest. There's not a lot of nuance behind him, to be fair. Yeah. Like, he's just a flamboyant time traveler, like floating around solving problems, being a bit extra. Like, it's not that difficult, mate. And the actor's gay, so he should be able to do this quite easily, right? Like, it should come second nature to do that sort of a performance. So the actor also said he had no idea if he'd stay for a third season. And when pushed for an answer on Friday, he smiled nervously, glanced at Russell. So this is that weird sort of interaction between the two. He's like, hey, I'm not going to answer. I'm going to look at someone else. And then, like, it's weird. So Russell then answered basically for him and says, we've shot season 2, but that's only halfway through. We've got all these months of post to come. It's a long way off. So no decisions yet. And Shooty said playing the Doctor was surreal. Still now it's a pinch me moment. And again, still, I'm growing into the Doctor. Well, after 2 years, still. But season 2 was lovely. It felt like the suit was fully fitted. I was finding my feet in season 1 and having the time of my life. But season 2 felt like a chance to flex the muscles. So there's that. Again, pair that with what I'd said as well, maybe behind the scenes drama. And then you get this comment. So this is actually from someone who works at Disney, right? This is Disney's SVP of Original Productions. So for those that don't know, just real quick recap on the deal. Disney bought distribution rights for Doctor Who for the rest of the world. BBC distributes it in the UK. Disney bought distribution rights for the rest of the globe, and they also funded it as part of that deal. Quite a lot of money, like $100+ million. Like, it's a lot of cash. So they have a vested interest in this. But if they don't renew their contract, which they don't have to because they funded 2 seasons, if they don't renew their contract, then the likelihood is this won't continue because the BBC doesn't have the money. Like, they don't have the cash flow. You know, people in the UK, Bo, you'll be able to confirm this for sure. There is a vitriol and hatred for the BBC that is, you know, they're in an untenable position at this point in time now, because of the TV license and also the fact that the BBC has been found out to be harboring pedos quite frequently now, and obviously all of the political bias alongside all the other stuff that they've got as well. So, yeah, it's unlikely that the BBC will be able to fund this because, again, you know, how many people do you know that has a TV license, Bo?
Yeah, I haven't paid my BBC license in years. I won't give them a penny ever again. I wrote an article called "We Need to Talk About Auntie." In Britain, we used to call the BBC Auntie. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Remember that? They'd have Auntie Sporting bloopers where they'd show like just sports bloopers, just a compilation of sports bloopers. Anyway,
weird stuff to phrase, but yeah.
And
bizarre.
Most people in Britain, or not most people actually, a lot of normies are still fine with it, but most people that aren't just complete normies, they want to defund the BBC because it's sort of a kind of an evil institution. I said in the article I wrote that it's truly an evil thing. It has been perverted from something that was kindly. It was like a member of your family. I'm talking back in the day, 70s, the 80s, the 90s, or even long before that. It was an institution, a good, solid, wholesome institution in Britain, and now it's a vehicle for pumping like weirdo, subversive, wokeist, transgender, globalist, traitor, pedo nonsense into people's households. It's crazy. It's crazy what it is, and I won't give a penny to it ever again, and nor should anyone else. And I hope he dies. It's got a royal charter. What we have is a royal charter. So the government literally keeps it going. And if I was Lord Protector or Prime Minister or King, I would revoke its royal charter immediately, close it down, fire every single person, take their pensions away, demolish the buildings and salt the earth where the buildings once were. If I said too much.
Well, you don't necessarily have a lot of land there, so I think the salting of the earth was a bad idea, but I think the rest of it's fine. You know, I've been on the BBC now for maybe 8 or 9 years, where I watched it slowly decline from the thing that we appreciated about it here in the States. Y'all made some really good television for a long, long time.
Yeah.
You know, and then you didn't. And it was almost overnight, you know.
But because, I mean, 500,000 people chose to cancel their TV licenses last year, which is a hell of a lot of money that they've lost out on. So as a result of that, the BBC cannot fund Doctor Who in its current state alone. So they do need Disney. And Disney said this, because this is why Doctor Who's future is completely in doubt. Disney has hailed Doctor Who as a really good fit for Disney Plus amid industry chatter over whether its ambitious co-production deal with the BBC has been a success. Liam Keelan, Disney's SVP of Original Productions in EMEA, said the company was happy to have the Ncuti Gatwa sci-fi series on Disney outside of the UK. The Disney chief did not, however, commit to renewing the BBC co-production deal beyond next year's season, which they've already paid for. That's being overseen by Rusty Davies. So the important thing to note here is that, like, it's a good fit. Yeah, we're happy to have it, but they're not like, yeah, we're balls deep funding this. Like, sure. It's that sort of like backhanded compliment type deal. Yeah, we're happy to have it. Yeah. But we're not going to fund it. So he said this: Doctor Who is a fabulous series. Obviously, in the UK, it's fully BBC, rightly so. We take rest of the world rights, but really, really happy to have it. I think just the quirkiness of it, the fact that it's in that sci-fi world, and when you think about what Disney offers in other regards, I think it feels like a really good fit to me. I mean, it's great to have it. So again, no confirmation. And one source to Deadline suggested that the co-production deal's future hangs in the balance massively, which would make significant sense because the viewership was terrible on Disney Plus. No one watched it. Why would you fund this product for $100 or so million of dollars when no one's watching it? What would be the point? It just doesn't make any sense. So there you go. That's it. Sort of rounded it all up there. Doctor Who, Ncuti Gatwa season 2's done. They're definitely doing that one more season. But how much further than that, who knows? Because Ncuti Gatwa himself is non-committal to the role, whether that's drama behind the scenes, with presumably maybe his lover, Rusty Davies, because there might be something a bit weird going on there. Who knows? Allegedly. And also Disney. So there you go. Nick, what's your thoughts on this?
F this show, F Disney. I mean, if they're going to cancel The Acolyte for its, poor performance and viewership, I don't know how they can continue this show. Everybody hates this show. I don't even think the creators even like this show. Like the decisions they've made in the fan backlash to it have been astronomical. It's literally like watching a comedy show. It's absolutely terrible. It should 100% get canceled. And for the thing is, I'm not a huge Doctor Who fan. I know for all the fans out there, though, they just want to get real non-woke, non-agenda, non-messaging Doctor Who back. But unfortunately, in the world we live in today, in these corporations that control all this media, it's probably never going to happen. So it would probably be best, just like it'd be best for Marvel and Star Wars at this point, minus some of the Marvel stuff, but it'd be best just for it to all go away and everybody just enjoy the times of the good old days when we actually had good content from some of this stuff.
Yeah, it's impossible to justify making another season of this program. The UK ratings alone, Nick, were falling like a rock for the fall off from 23 to 2024. I mean, you think about it. I did I think 8 videos on ratings for Doctor Who for the 2024 season here, or series as you call it there in the UK, and not one of them rose to the level of even the previous year, which is ridiculous. I mean, nobody liked Jodie, but nobody really likes this guy. And on top of that, it never once sparked the top 10 on Disney Plus. It was never in Nielsen's ratings. It was never recorded there that I can find.
Remember, this is the guy that said about white mediocrity. Like, all right, guy, shut up.
Yeah, black fragility there from Shitty Gaywad. I must say, there's the BBC have created one or two things that aren't complete dirt in the last few years. So they did Wolf Hall. I don't know if anyone saw that with Mark Rylance. That was actually
I've never even heard that.
It's a Tudor period drama based on some award-winning novels. That was actually very, very good. And they still, Dave Attenborough's still knocking around. And, some of the nature stuff they do is top quality. I mean, world class. But beyond that, honestly, it's nothing. It's a slew of perversion. So, the other thing, just to mention for you American guys and anyone in the chat that isn't British, they make you pay unless you go to jump through some hoops. They make you pay for it, like a tax, the license fee. It's a state-sponsored theft. They will prosecute people if you don't pay it, unless you go on their website and absent yourself from it. It's outrageous.
I have not
it's absolutely outrageous.
From it. I haven't absented myself.
Oh, right, I have.
No, because I feel like, because the logic in it, like it'd be like Sky turning up, cable turning up to my house and being like, we see you don't have you're not down as having Sky. Why? You're like, what? I'm not paying for Sky, so I'm not watching Sky, so you don't have my details. I feel like it's wrong to give my details out to a company that, they're soliciting me. I've not asked to be solicited by this stupid company, right? They're like, well, you live here, therefore we need to know who you are. No, you don't. No, you don't. And they're like, we're opening an investigation. You never know my name. Like, it's been like this for years, and you've never known my name. Like, it wouldn't be that hard. If you were actually opening an investigation, it wouldn't be that difficult to find out. Do you know what I mean? Like, you've got my address. There's all these ways to do it. So yeah, no, like I feel it's wrong to give them my information because I know I don't need a TV license. Therefore, I'm fine. So like, I don't know. It's just I completely reject the concept of them having my details when it's the transaction is I need a TV license. Therefore, I get one. I don't need one. You don't need to know who I am, right? Like you just don't need to know who I am. It's always funny when they turn up at the door because also, I hop out and I'm like, "Hi, how's it going?" Yeah. And they're always like, "Are you watching TV?" I'm like, "Don't need to know that, dear." To be honest, I'm like, "Yeah, what are you doing there?" Like,
it's a classic thing, though. But they will, because you've got a mind of your own and you know what the deal is. But they will intimidate or browbeat like old people and stuff.
Oh, it's the letters that they send. I mean, you obviously would have had them
outrageous.
before. They're brutal. Like if you're an old dear, get one of them. And again, it's the point of principle, because I like them turning up so I can have a word with them. Because I know full well that they would have turned up to some old dear's house and be like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I'll go do it right now. Don't take me to court." Because the letters are really hot, like they're bad. They're like, "We're investigating you," and like, you know, what happens? We'll take you to court. Blah blah blah. And it's like,
it could be a fine of £1,000 or prosecution.
Yeah, it's like you're not going to do shit. Go away.
Yeah, they've only ever once come to my door, and I was, as you might imagine, quite aggressive with them. Like not physically aggressive, just like, "What do you want?" I knew who they were. "What do you want?" And they're like, "Yeah, we've come for." I'm like, "Yeah, no. Anything else?" "Yeah, no, nothing. You're getting nothing out of me." "What? Next, like that with them." And they very quickly just moved on.
I'm very aggressive with my no trespassing signs. You know, like I will catch you on one of the cameras around the property, and I will turn on activate the speaker on it, have a conversation with before you're even, anywhere near my door. "What are you doing here? It says no trespassing. Have a nice day."
Yeah, I literally was sitting in my house one night. It was like 11:45 at night, and I get a knock on my front door, and I got one of those Ring doorbell cameras. So of course I'm like, "Who the hell is knocking on my door this late?" It was like on a Tuesday night or something, and it's some woman that I've never seen before in a fanny pack, and I don't know what was going on. She was like, "Hey, I'm from down the street," and I was like, I'm busy." Like,
no thanks. Whatever it is, no thanks. Bye-bye.
Weird. I mean, I don't know if she had a weapon on. I have no idea. It was weird.
Good story. Right. We've got some Steve chats about this. Scaro says Tom Baker will always be the best Doctor, followed by John Pertwee. Fruity is an abomination and needs to be cancelled immediately.
Perfect.
Yeah. Well, he might have cancelled himself, so there is that. We've got Dragon Reborn. This is a two-parter. I think is this no, this isn't about that actually. Never mind. We'll get to this one in a minute about something else. We got one here from Sci-Fi Quest. It says, didn't we already hear of him leaving the role after season 2 earlier this year, around the same time Millie announced she was leaving? Well, yeah, we heard potential.
Well, they were auditioning for other jobs. Millie got one. So there you go.
So did he, though.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Moved Broadway, didn't he?
Yeah.
Sort of Broadway
because the Broadway folks there, the producers of Broadway, like men in tight clothing. So there you go.
Right. Anyway, let's move on from this, and now I'll get to those.